Welcome everyone to RearView TV channel. I have a new video that we will be talking about today. We will be taking a step back into history, speaking about colonialism. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe now and hit the notification bell. Anyway, let's get into this. Now we'll move on to a bit about the Gentiles, the effect and impact on our African Israelites. I refer to Africans as, black Israelites, African Israelites, because I feel that's what all black people are. If I say African Israelites, it's just knows from the mother continent of Africa, yes? Right, so Benin bronzes. Looting by British in 1897. I'm going to name a couple facts about these people and what they've done, to Africans. So, in 1897, the British mounted a punitive expedition against the Kingdom of Benin in what is now southern Nigeria. They burned Benin City and looted thousands of bronze, brass, ivory, and wood artifacts from the Oba's palace and other sites. These artifacts were dispersed to museums and private collections across Europe and the US. The British Museum alone holds a larger number. Great Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwe bird sculptures. Great Zimbabwe was built between the 11th and 14th centuries by the Shona people. It had impressive stone architecture and soapstone carvings, including the Zimbabwe bird. Europeans during colonial times often denied that black Africans could have built such civilizations. Portions of these soapstone items were removed and taken to European museums. Some were returned. For example, some of the Zimbabwe birds were returned to Zimbabwe in 1981 and more later. Legitimate commerce and forced labor, slave trade replacement. As colonial powers began to abolish or claim to abolish the transatlantic slave trade, they promoted legitimate trade, example, exporting palm oil, etc., as alternatives. But this often meant forced labor, extortion, unfair treaties, or violence against African rulers who resisted. Destruction of cultural, spiritual, symbolic heritage. Colonial looting wasn't just economic. Artifacts with spiritual, symbolic, historical importance were taken. This removed not just physical objects, but disrupted identities, rituals, lineages, memory, and local authority connected to those symbols. Undercounted injustice and reparations. Some scholars have attempted to model or estimate what reparations to Africa would look like for colonial exploitation, slave trade, land theft, forced labor, culture theft. One chapter, Forensic Analysis of Reparations to Africa for Depredations under European Colonialism, distinguishes different types of historical injustice and gives examples. Also, articles point out that about 90% of sub-Saharan Africa's material cultural heritage is said to be held outside the continent. Artifact theft from museums and activism. Some activists, like Muzulu Diambanza from DR Congo, have campaigned by trying to remove or reclaim items in museum displays, protesting that they were originally looted in colonial times. Museums across Europe are under pressure. Some are returning artifacts or entering restitution dialogues. Germany, the Netherlands, example, have begun returning Benin's bronzes or parts. They should return it all, don't you think? Put a thumbs up if you think they should return everything back to Africa. The rise of cash crop production and resource extraction displaced subsistence farming and local industry. So the effect this had was land dispossession, forced or coerced cultivation, rubber, coca, cotton, palm oil, and long-term deindustrialization that weakened local economic independence. King Leopold II's Congo Free State, late 19th century, early 20th century, used forced labor to extract rubber. Millions suffered brutality, mutilation, and death. The effect this had was on the demographic collapse in parts of the Congo, international condemnation, and eventual Belgian takeover of the territory from Leopold. If you knew some of this information, let me know. Large-scale looting of art and cultural property occurred during colonial military campaigns. The 1897 British punitive expedition to Benin City is a well-documented case. The effect this has was that thousands of bronzes, ivories, and other cultural objects were removed from the Kingdom of Benin and dispersed to museums and private collections in Europe and the US. The loss of damaged cultural continuity and ceremonial life. Recent restitution debates show the continuing legacy. Genocidal violence and settler colonial extermination occurred under some colonial regimes. For example, the Herero and Nama genocide between 1904 and 1908 by German forces in what is now Namibia. The effect this had was tens of thousands were killed, survivors dispossessed, long-term trauma, and ongoing demands for reparations and acknowledgement. Germany has since acknowledged the atrocities and entered talks or pledges related to reparations. Colonial legitimate trade frequently replaced the transatlantic slave trade with coercive labor systems and unequal treaties. The effect this had was slavery's Atlantic form changed, but was often replaced by forced labor, taxation systems that compelled cash crop production, and legal frameworks that advantaged colonizers. Missionary activity supported colonial rule culturally and politically, while also introducing schooling, healthcare, but often at the cost of undermining African belief systems and social structures. The effect this had was cultural disruption, loss of traditional authorities and practices, and the spread of European languages and legal norms that accompanied colonial governance. Widespread removal of African material culture left major museums in Europe and North Africa holding large proportions of African heritage. The effect this had was loss of immaculable, tangible heritage for African communities, complex restitution debates, and a contemporary movement pushing for returns or shared custodianship. Estimates and case studies show a very high percentage of African artifacts are held outside the continent. Colonial legal systems and land policies dispossessed Africans of land and legal rights, changing patterns of ownership and undermining customary law. The effect this has was entrenched inequality in land access, marginalization of smallholders, and post-independence land conflicts that still affect development and social stability. The legacies of colonialization persist today. Economic dependency patterns, infrastructural layouts designed for extraction rather than integration, contested borders, and social divisions traceable to colonial policies. The effect that this had was many development challenges in post-colonial Africa are shaped by the structures set during colonial rule, not just historical injustice, but ongoing structural disadvantage. So this video was about a bit of delving into Africa's history and some of the events that had happened there. Let me know your thoughts below on some of the information that I shared with you today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If some of you are watching but are not subscribed yet, please subscribe because I can see you. I do know who is subscribed. But also, I don't know if you've been checking my community section, my posts page on my channel, but I do regularly post on there, and I have shared a link to our website. But yeah, have a look, and thank you for clicking to watch this podcast today.